Hello everybody, welcome to my impromptu review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. Spoiler alert, it's good. It's a good movie. It's not groundbreaking. I'm gonna be very specific about this. The movie is not groundbreaking. It's definitely feels like a continuation of the first movie in every sense of the way. It feels like they took the formula of what worked in the first movie and they just kept going with it, which is fine because the first movie was already good to begin with. So this second movie, in my estimate, in my own personal thought, is at least as good as the first one. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil things because there's a lot of wonderful things, but they really hit the ground running with this movie, with the first scene showcasing what's happening with Robotnik at the beginning, like for this past quote-unquote year in story time, and then just presenting Knuckles, and then after that just cutting back to like the Sonic's like normal like life with like the humans. I gotta say, for what I heard about in the previews before, there is a lot more human stuff in this movie than I really thought. I thought it was going to be more like 80 to 20, 80% Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, 20% like humans, but it's more of a 65-35. There is a lot more human than I ever thought, and they have a couple of really cool scenes to get in there. There's a couple of scenes that I think why, but for the most part I think the humans were really good in this thing. Let's see. The storyline moved at a steady clip. I think there were some like little bit of pacing issues. I do believe the dullest part in the movie, and this is kind of sad to say, is at the beginning. And I say it's sad to say because this is the moment where you need to grab your audience at the beginning. And outside of that scene that you know was going to be the opening, you know, the scene with that what is in the trailers with the robbery and the heist and Sonic trying to stop the robbers, that's actually the beginning. Outside of that, the movie actually ends up being a little bit dull at the beginning. Like it's a lot of like ups and downs, like valleys, and then at the second act it starts picking up, and then it rises to the third act where it's like all action, all awesomeness. The visuals in general are very good. I gotta say, it feels like a slight upgrade from the previous one. Like if you put them side by side, you're probably gonna find some upgrades, especially with the Sonic model and the CGI. But it's not so much that it's like distracting. There are some parts of the movie where I think the CGI was lacking. Two scenes in particular point out to me. The first one is when they are up in the mountains. Sonic and Tails are up in the mountains. There's a combination of Sonic and Tails moving, the camera movement, and the snow that's falling on them, and the ice that's forming on their bodies. The general movement of it just feels lacking. I don't want to say outright bad, just lacking. It feels like something that they would like touch up for the eventual DVD / Blu-ray / streaming release later down the line. But overall, I think that part is a little bit lacking. There's another one, but it's a little bit more spoilery. Let me see if I can present it in a non-spoilery way. Sonic does a puzzle. There's a lot of like video game elements in this movie, I'm gonna say, but this is one of those video game elements where there's like Sonic does a puzzle, and because of a puzzle he is given an item, and when the item is presented, it's shown in this CGI that looks straight out of the 90s. Like the movement of this CGI model, even though it looks to be like the most like simple thing ever, but the movement of it as it's given to Sonic, it looks like a JPEG, just like slowly zooming into view instead of like an actual object. Those are the two biggest moments I could say that CGI was lacking, and it could use a touch up before it gets released for streaming or Blu-ray. Otherwise, I think the visuals were good. Definitely the budget all went to the third act, because the third act was just fantastic. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but it was fantastic. There are some, like I said, the humans were surprisingly good in this. And without spoiling much, there is one moment that I think just surprised me. Like the most surprising part of the movie. Not the most exciting, but the most surprising part of the movie. Without spoiling much, I think I'll say it in 2 words. Wedding scene. That was the most surprising part of the movie. What else? What else did I think about the movie? It's about an hour and a half, I think. And there is a post-credit scene, so if you want to just stick around and watch the post-credit scene, it does hint towards the potential for a Sonic movie 3, which we already know is going to happen. The only sad part about that is that it looks like Jim Carrey is not going to reprise his role as Dr. Robotnik, which he was good in this movie. I don't know. Here's the thing. I think if I want to say the best, worst, and most disappointing performances, best, the most surprising performance, I have to give it to, my gosh, I keep forgetting her name. Donut Lord's wife's sister. If you know the name, then go ahead, say it. I think that was the most surprising performance, because in the first movie, she was just ball of rage, angry woman. I don't like your husband kind of thing. No, here she has more emotional range. And here she shows just how much of an actress she is. I think the best performance overall, however, I have to give it to Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails. Of course, she's been doing the role of Tails for years, so she knows how to do it, but there is a certain level of nuance in Tails' performance in terms of vocals and voices that I've never heard in the games. It's like the mixture of her expertise as playing Tails all this time with the direction received in this movie just coalesced into the version of Tails that I always thought Tails could be. You know, I came in thinking that the best performer was going to be Idris Elba as Knuckles, but no, I think it's Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails. Idris Elba, I don't want to call it the worst performance, but it's the most unfitting one. Okay, he did a good job. He did a good enough job, but I think his voice just does not fit Knuckles. There you go. It just does not fit Knuckles. It feels like the voice is just 40 years too old for the character that I'm looking at. It's like when you know that there's a voice actor, for example, there's a voice actor that's done the performances for so long that their voice starts sounding like no matter how young they can skew their voice, there's still that edge of old person voice coming through. That's what it felt when listening to Idris Elba as Knuckles. The most disappointing performance, I have to give it to Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, he knocked it out of the park on the first movie. He felt like most of the movie was his movie. Here, he felt like another cog in the machine. He was great in his performance, but he was great where he was, but it felt like he was reined in, like he wasn't giving it his all. And I guess it's because maybe he was just contractually obligated to make this movie. Maybe he signed off for 2 movies instead of just the one, whatever. It just felt like Jim Carrey's performance was good, not exceptional. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad performance, I'm saying that I've seen Jim Carrey at his best, and this is not Jim Carrey at his best, and it is disappointing. Also, they made Jim Carrey a one-liner machine, and I'm gonna feel like that is gonna be one of the things that are going to age the worst in this movie. Jim Carrey being a one-liner machine. I feel like he was okay. Eggman was never a serious enemy to Sonic in the games, but here he felt like he was just like comedy for comedy's sake, essentially. And I know that Jim Carrey has stated that after this movie he's probably not going to act anymore unless he finds a supremely sublime film script that could get him invested in it. And while I would be sad to see him go because of consistency's sake, if his heart not into it, then I'm okay with somebody else taking the reins of the character of Eggman for this inevitable Sonic 3 movie. Overall, I think this movie is fun. It's great, it's action-packed, it has a lot of cheesy one-liners, but it has a lot of good acting, good performances, good script. A good enough movie that I think audiences will like it, children will love it, Sonic fans will absolutely eat it up, and it's good. It's a good one. If I were to give it a score, and I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's good, it's great, it's not perfect. It is as good, if not a little bit better than the original. And I honestly cannot wait to see what they'll do with the inevitable Sonic 3, especially with that post-credits scene. I will not say anything about it. Please don't look it up. Please don't spoil Sonic 2. I think this is a good movie to not spoil because most of it comes from the excitement of watching the action and the reveals. So yeah, please enjoy this movie. I think it's good. A great family movie. And I guess I don't have anything else to say. Thank you so much for watching my review, and if you like this, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I am way more active on my Twitch than on my YouTube, so please go watch me on twitch.tv/Chiru_Cobra, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. Bye.